How y'all doing today? So today I'm thinking of doing something quick, just not to let you guys hang in. And as you know, I am African or African descent, whichever way you want to swing it. Most of my dishes will be leaning towards African dishes, but a little Americanized because I do live in America. So I have a way of balancing it, switching it up or mixing it up, just like Mexicali. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna put the name, but it have some African intonation to it. Now I won't say craving. I've been wanting to eat some peanut butter soup, but I naturally do not eat peanut butter. I haven't eaten peanut butter since I was a teenager, and I have bad reaction to it too. So I've been eating almond butter for years. I've substituted my peanuts for almond. But now today I'm thinking about peanut butter. So let me go see how I can make an alternative. I don't want to call it an alternative because when people do videos and say this alternative, I don't really like it. And I tried the bread alternative. My children like it. I didn't. So I'm going to go do an almond butter soup. I don't know if anyone ever tried it, but hey, let's go find out. Okay, I don't know if I can apologize enough about the lighting. I went ahead and fixed the light here. We added an extra light, but still somehow it is weird, so I apologize for that. I don't like cutting raw meat. So there's nothing wrong with cutting raw meat, but I just don't like it because I have long nails and I have jewelry, so I don't want the rawness of the meat to stick to me. And even if I wash my hand, I feel like there's still something sticking there. So I usually boil or steam my meat as is. So right now I added ginger, a little bit of turmeric, and red pepper. So that's what I usually do. Where's the front? I mean, you get it. The turmeric, ginger, and the red pepper. And that's all it is for now. I'm going to let it steam a little, about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to cut it. So as you can see, there's still a little bit of red in it. So I don't let it completely cook before I cut it. I bought this with bones because in this diet, a lot of bone broth is important. So I bought one meat and one bone, so I didn't cut the bones. So I'm using sea salt now because now I know the salt can penetrate it. I'm just putting a little dash on it. I really eyeball. So as you can see, there's still a little bit of red in it. So I don't let it completely cook before I cut it. I bought this with bones because in this diet, a lot of bone broth is important. So I bought one meat and one bone, so I didn't cut the bones. So I'm using sea salt now because now I know the salt can penetrate it. I'm just putting a little dash on it. I really eyeball my stuff, like my grandma would do. Most people will say a teaspoon, and I don't do that. I just eyeball it, and now I'm gonna stir it, and I don't have to stir it. I have my, okay, so now I'm just gonna stir it. Oh my goodness, okay, I can't do both, so I'll be right back. So now it's stirred. I'm gonna cover it and let it boil for another 15 to 20 minutes because we don't want to get salmonella. We don't want any rawness in it. So I'll be right back. Now I'm going to wash the baby spinach. Now, let me tell you, this recipe did not call for spinach. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Okay, so for those who ask for a little more detail, I hope this is good. If not, please let me know. As I promised, I will cater to you. So I'm gonna let the spinach sit here, and as I was saying, I'm struggling doing the video and doing the other stuff. This is not a typical African stew, so I don't want you to think that this is how Africans cook. I'm just modifying it. This recipe really does not call for spinach. I add that to it because the whole 30 you have to do leafy greens. So leafy greens, like I said, it could be spinach, it could be arugula, it could be kale, it could be broccoli, but the stew that I'm making, kale really does not fit in it. So I like spinach. It withers faster. So let's see how it turns out. Be right back. As transparent as I want to be with today's cooking, I'm having a hard time recording and doing it. I apologize. But my next one, I will make sure either hubby or my oldest son is here. My cameramans are here to help me do this. So right now I'm going to chop this, and the meat is coming up well. I like the aroma of it. So I'm gonna chop this, then I'm gonna wash the tomatoes, and I'm gonna wash this, and okay. So now onions are chopped, tomatoes, and I wash the mushrooms. Now, like I was saying before, none of this is called in, like, I believe if I was in my grandma's kitchen, she may or may not add the tomato, but she'll add canned tomato. But remember, on this journey, you want to stay away from processed. You want to stay away from canned goods. Grab your stuff fresh, like from the farm to the table if possible. Now, somebody will ask me, why am I using this? I remember when I was growing up, the only time my grandma would use this is for salad. But I'm using this onion today because I saw, like I told you, that I follow YouTubers as well. One of the YouTubers was talking about how the regular onions do have carb. Now remember, we're on a low carb diet, but some vegetables naturally have carbs, so you cannot go like no carb at all. There's still going to be a little bit of carb in it. So there's more carb in regular onion, and this is more healthier for you. Now again, go do your research and find out why and how. I believe it, and I've tried this in my other soup the week that I did not record, and I love it. I love the aroma of it, and I love everything about it. So let's see how everything is going to turn out. So now, because of the stew that now is all cooked now, it's really cooked. I believe it is well now. What I'm gonna add, like back in the day, I would have added peanut butter, but I don't want to do peanut butter. We're doing almond butter. So I have a little bit of almond left here, so I added hot water to it, and I'm gonna turn it into a gooey paste, and I'm gonna pour it all over it. Okay, so after that one, I don't need to add that much, so I just take one, I'll call this a tablespoon, and I'm just gonna add it to it. I'm going to add one regular tap water to allow the almond to dissolve in it. So I'm gonna cover it and let it boil. And this is the consistency that I was looking for. It is on point. And I'll add the spinach, then the onions and the tomato, and I'll put it on low heat. And that's it, you're done. You can eat it with cauliflower rice, you can eat it by itself, because our diet calls for a lot of soup, so you can eat it directly. And because I'm making it for the entire family, they are gonna eat it with rice. Yes, this is how we want it. Now it's been over 20 minutes, but I'm just pacing. So now let me add the vegetable. So I added every single vegetable. No, I added the mushroom and the spinach because it takes a little longer for them to cook and wither in it. So I'm just gonna cover it for about 5 minutes. Okay, so as I was expecting the spinach wither, I went ahead and transferred the rest of the veggies here, the green onions and the tomato, and I'm gonna pour it in here. I was able to do that at first. The only thing I was able to do on camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir it, and that's it. You said what? What? Oh, okay.
The trash bag.
I didn't know you bring one. Okay, so one of my cameramen is home, so hopefully the rest will be a little easier. So I just put some ghee in there, and I'm going to add diced garlic. Why? I love garlic. You don't have to do the same thing as I do. So, okay, so I like it when the garlic is a little roasted in it. And then I'm just going through my cameraman left. He just got home and he doesn't want to be part of this, which is fine. And so now I'm going to add the cauliflower. What I like about prepping is that you always have some leftovers. So now I'm done with the ghee and the garlic. So I'm gonna add a little bit of parsley. Yeah, chopped parsley from a previous dish on top of this. Oh, come on. So again, you don't have to do it exactly how I do it, but I just roasted the garlic, put the cauliflower, it's frozen. I put 2 swirl of Himalayan pink salt, and then I put some leftover parsley in there for aroma purposes. That's it. And I'm gonna cover it and let it sit there for about 15 minutes. The heat is kind of high. And let's see what's going on here. This is exactly how I want it. Taster, my little taster, you want to taste it? Come taste it and tell me what it tastes like, how you like it. So my son is my biggest critic. You want meat or no meat?
No meat.
Okay. So if you say it tastes good, it really does. And don't say it tastes good just for the camera. So tell me honestly. How? Whoa. Okay, you don't have to talk. I already know it's good. You can stop licking your hand now. Okay, so
It's sweet, then salty, then spicy. I like all at the same time.
okay. So you heard the description. Taste the number one, like it. Hopefully the kids and hubby will love it. It is okay. So I tried to, I like it. But hey, if I didn't like it, I won't have a choice. So basically, eating healthy, it doesn't have to be a punishment. Anyway, I will turn the camera and talk. So my cauliflower is ready. My stew is ready. And I'm going to put them all together. I have to find a bowl where you can see through it. So I'll be right back. So this is the finished product. And this is the consistency of it. And I don't know if I should call it almond butter sauce or stew, whatever you want to call it. But surprisingly, my son was right. It is delicious. So guys, I love the stew. I've never made it before. I just did it in front of you. I've been doing the cauliflower and I like it. I hope you do it and add your alternative to it and tell me how it comes out, how you like it. So I love the stew. It tastes great. And surprisingly, it is clean. It's clean eating. It is Whole30 and keto approved. You can add your little tricks to it as long as it's green vegetables and farm to the table. Minimum amount of minimum ingredients that have been processed, and you're good. And it really tastes good. I like it. Well, you do yours and tell me how it turns out. Have a good night. This is the kind of food you just enjoy at the counter. There's no point of going to the dining room table. It is great. It doesn't feel like you're dieting. If you're not used to eating cauliflower, you may or may not like it. I love it. And if you must eat it with rice, I mean, I wish you don't, but it will taste great with rice as well. Let me know what you think about this quick dish. It took less than 30 minutes, literally, if I wasn't struggling with the camera. I would say the meat actually on its own probably took around 20 minutes to cook. The rest just add up. It's really easy to make. It's great for the entire family, so no one is starving. My family is not on keto, but it is still healthy for them and tasty. Like my children, if it's not tasty, they're not eating. They're very picky eaters. They can eat this with rice. They can eat it with some of our other African traditional dishes. Mix it with something else, and it's good. How yours turn out, I can share it if you want me to. All right, bye-bye.